And welcome back to Talking Lead, episode 116. Leadheads, it's been an interesting week to say the least. It's been an exciting week, been a busy week. Got to spend the weekend with my buddy Casey Griggs up in Kentucky. I hated that I didn't get to travel down to Louisiana because that was one hell of a fight that Jared Markle, our MMA fighter, in his return to the ring. So we're going to have those two guys on the show this week, and we're going to talk about the three-gun competition with Casey, and we're going to talk about the brawl in Louisiana with Jared. Welcome in, guys.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you being on. Looks like you're healing up nicely there, my friend.
I am. I wasn't this pretty about 4 days ago.
And to your credit, you weren't afraid to post the pictures up too. I mean, that was a fight to be proud of, man.
Yeah, I saved some of the pictures for private view because of my grandparents are on my Facebook page. And my grandpa, he's like, I'm kind of worried about your health. I'm like,
well, first thing you need to do is kick them off your Facebook page.
I forgot he was on there, and then I got the call. Or I had to call him. Dad's like, you need to call your grandpa now. I was like, okay.
That's hilarious. Do they know that you're an MMA fighter?
Yeah, it's been 5 years since I did it. So he was like, I'm not going to hold my breath for you to get back in the cage, but I'm here to support you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a loving grandparent for you.
Understand from their viewpoint why they would not be excited about it.
Yeah, well, kids are kids. They're going to do what they're going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he probably understands that probably from your dad, right?
What? No.
Huh? And Casey, the three-gunner, sponsored by Troy, Talking Lead, Nordic Components. I'm not going to get everybody, Casey. You're going to have to jump in and help me. Apex.
Apex Tactical, Nordic Components, got you. We've got Force Firearms and Machine, Blackside Gunworks, Blade Tech, and we got Modern Spartan.
Modern Spartan Systems, that's right. Let's talk about the three-gun competition, and then we'll get in and we'll talk about the fight. I had the privilege to be at the three-gun competition with Casey this weekend. And a buddy of mine, Tanner, was able to join me. And Tanner's been on the show before, Missile Man episode, if you guys remember that. Casey, I missed your first day. So let's talk about the first day of competition there at the Rock Castle 3-Gun Pro-Am. Now, you shot amateur, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
This being one of your... It's not your first, but it's is the first, I guess, Pro-Am mix competition, right?
Yeah, it's
your biggest competition, yeah. What was your initial impression when you first got there?
My initial impression was, holy crap, this is awesome. Rolling in the front area and seeing all the signs for the first time of all the sponsors, like Seeking Precision, dude, just like seeing the Nordic Components and Troy's signs were up there, and
Brownells,
Brownells and Double Star, just
Surgicon, yeah.
Yeah, when you're rolling through the front gate and you see all those big flags and banners, you're just like, has Heaven's Gates just opened? So it was pretty sweet.
It's like let the games begin.
Yes, completely.
Yeah. So when you got there, kind of tell us what was it like your pre-shoot, pre-game routine? What'd you do to get prepared, to get ready, to get psyched up?
Well, first things first, do some quick checks of your weapons, make sure everything's there, make sure you got all your stuff. And
because that's crucial if you don't have your pistol or
yeah,
you think you might want to check that before you leave the house.
Well, you check before and after, because I mean, when your mind's going 100 miles a minute, and that's the cool part about being a three-gunner is there's all kinds of guys there to help you. So I mean, if you did leave something at home, hopefully not a firearm, but if you left something at home, man, they'll toss it to you in a heartbeat. That's the cool part about it. Everybody there is there to help each other, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
But after you make sure you get your checks and, pre-checks and everything done, start going over the stages. Print them out if you have to. Put them in your hand. Visually look at the maps. Then go to the stages if they allow you, and start looking at the layout immediately.
That place is ginormous. Those stages are so spread out. Man, I just can't imagine that. And of course, it depends, I guess, how early you get there, whether you could drive around and look at them all and walk through them all.
Right.
But did you go the day the ROs were doing the shoots?
Well, yeah, I was going around the day the ROs were shooting, but not with the ROs. They actually had a match up there called the HAVA match, which is the Wounded Veterans match, or Handicap Veteran Association. Is that what it's called, I think? HAVA. And they were going through and doing matches with wounded veterans with their disabilities that they might have gotten from combat, and just trying to work through it with them, which was really cool. Got the chance to go around with Trevor Bockham all day and a ton of other wounded veterans, and it was truly amazing to see them work through their injuries and to be a part of it all over again.
So that was a match specifically for those guys.
Oh yeah, that was
That's cool.
Was sweet.
I was looking at some of the pictures from that, and then the little recommended thing on Facebook after I got done looking at pictures of that was a couple videos from Derek Wida, and I think that's how you say his last name. He's with M Best with Matt and them, and dude that has the prosthetic leg.
Oh yeah.
Right.
After looking at those pictures and watching his video, I'm like, man, I have zero excuses for anything. I have to go do everything now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he works through his injuries, man, in CrossFit like crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's, dude, that's inspiration. And watching those guys up there, a couple of guys had missing legs, handicapped from the waist down, or paralyzed from the waist down, I should say, and, missing limbs, arms. Dude, they're working through it. They're shooting shotgun, one-handed. It's like, here I am, like, I got all my extremities, and these guys are powering through their injuries and doing a friggin' bang-up job. Just outstanding.
Yeah, it's like Jared said, zero excuses, man.
Yeah.
We went down to, Marty, you probably heard the story, but we went down to Ken Hackathorn's class on Bill Wilson's ranch in Texas a couple years ago, and there's a guy there named Colonel Tim Karcher. Had both of his legs blown off above the knee, so he had two prosthetic legs, and he was up there. He was running some drills in his wheelchair, and then he would get up out of it and walk and shoot. I'm like, wow, man, this dude. Anybody that makes an excuse right now, I'm just gonna send you over to Colonel Tim Karcher, and you can talk to him.
Yeah,
it's really uplifting. I mean, that there's still humans out there that have the drive to push past discomfort.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. These guys are handicapped, but there are ways for them to still enjoy, the things like you and I do. They're able to go out and take part in these competitions, and technology's great nowadays. The prosthetics have come just light years, ahead of where they were just probably 10 years ago even.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
There was a dude in an MMA fight that I was at that he was fighting with 1.5 arms. He didn't have
1.5 arms.
Yeah, he had like a cut off right below his elbow, and he had a nub, and he was fighting.
MMA.
Yep, MMA.
Who's the MMA that has no legs?
There's a MMA fighter with no legs?
There's an MMA fighter with no legs, and dude, he can freaking rock it. He'll flat out tap you quick. I was watching that not too long ago. They done a special on him or something like that. He literally has no legs.
Wow, that's crazy.
And he's taking full-grown dudes down like it ain't nobody's business.
That's
and arm barring the crap out of you. Oh yeah, he's like arm barring the crap out of people. Like, you're done, buddy.
Wow. So let's get back to the 3-gun competition. And so the first day was kind of the HAVA, the RO officers, and then you guys shot, I guess it was on Saturday, or no, it was Friday, wasn't it?
Friday.
Yeah, you guys shot on Friday. And there was, like almost 300 competitors in this thing?
Yeah, every bit of 300. I'm going to say, yeah, somewhere around, well, probably 400 because there was
Yeah.
203 amateur side.
Okay. I was thinking there's about 300 on the amateur side and close to that on the pro side. I mean, I don't think they quite had the 600 people. I think they fell a few short of that. Some people didn't show up and whatnot. But nonetheless, I mean, that's a lot of people that you're competing against. And the way they do it is they put you guys, to get through it all, they put you in squads, up to like, 12 people in some of them?
Yeah, 12 to 14, I think is what it was. So.
Yeah. I know some of them, because people didn't show up, were down to like 5 people in their squads and whatnot. Those guys had some long wait times because they were getting through their stages quick.
Yeah, and they were sitting back in lawn chairs waiting on everybody else to get done.
Yeah, and I know that wait time it's got to kill you in between the stages.
Well, not really. It gives you kind of the tactical advantage, in my opinion, because you can sit there and watch everybody else screw up. That way, when you go through it, you don't screw up.
Unless your gun screws up, right?
Unless your weapon malfunctions, and then you just feel like crap already. So, I mean,
right. And we'll get to that. So, talk about from stage to stage. How many did you have? 8 stages total?
Well, on this one, we did 4 the first day, and we did 3 the second day. So there was 7 total.
Okay, but, 7 stages.
I think they had one more, but I don't know that they put it in, because I thought somebody said at one time they had 8.
Okay, I know the pros had one that got damaged. So it got shot up before everybody was able to go through it, so they just eliminated it completely.
Well, actually, I think that was ours.
Was that yours too?
Yeah, they had one in ours. They just took one completely out.
Oh yeah, it was the amateurs. It wasn't the pro one. Yeah, then, that's right.
I don't forget which stage that was. I know that the cowboy the cowboy stages they had. I broke the metal swinger.
You broke the swinger on one of those?
Yeah, they had to repair it like 2 or 3 times.
Of those 7 stages, talk about your favorite one that you shot. Which one would that have been?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I can't even hardly remember the numbers of them, or in that order.
Talk about the layout of the stage.
Well, okay, the layout of the stage was you could pretty much start however you wanted to. You could start with pistol, you could start with pistol, shotgun, or rifle, whichever one you wanted. But they only had your area for you to track was back and forth, and they had walls set up to where you had to maneuver from left to right to be able to see and hit all your targets. I liked that one just simply because you could start. I started with the rifle. I went from left to right, hit every target that I seen as I was moving. So I come back and dumped and picked up shotgun, and I like shotgun because I can blow through steel quick with shotgun. And shot through the shotgun, and then just cranked up on pistol at the very end. And dude, that was probably the funnest stage to me. I know you didn't move a lot inside the stage, but just simply the layout of it to where you could just rock fire and let it go.
Yeah. So this one didn't have like a lot of different. I know some of them had like corridors that you would have to go through, and then it would open up, and then you would engage more targets. They'd have like faux windows set up. You'd shoot through windows. They'd have barrels you'd have to shoot around. Did this one have a lot of obstacles or less obstacles?
Well, it had a lot of obstacles, but your drawback to those obstacles is you literally had to move in that rectangular shape behind the bucket to see all of them. Right. So it wasn't like you were maneuvering like building clearing, going around those wall setups to see your other targets. You wasn't doing that. Which actually kind of shocked me because I thought they would have more of that. And they didn't have as much of that.
They had a lot of rifle on this course, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And, which don't get me wrong, I like the rifle. The rifle's,
when it works.
Yeah, when it works. When it works.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it. There was a stage. It was a pistol, shotgun, and rifle, right? Mm-hmm. It was all 3. And it was one, so it was set up like you've got a window on the left, a window on the right. You've got a door that you go through, a little corridor, and then it opens up, and then you're engaging
shotgun.
The shotgun, and then you run up, and there's a car on this one also.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stages had cars to where you'd either get in them and shoot, or you'd have to shoot through them, you have to shoot over them, different things like that to get to your targets. But then it also had, was it 2 long distance? Were they 200-yard targets?
But yeah, no, those were about 100 to 150, I think. They wasn't that far.
Okay, 100 to 150 yards. So this is the one that I was really excited about.
Me too.
So walk us through that one, and we'll get to the tragedy.
Yeah, I started out pretty good. I had a good plan laid out in my head of how I was going to do it. Started out with pistols where I could visually see through one window, one target. So as soon as I drew, I pulled up, shot one target, and then I could backpedal, shooting the other target to the left side of the window as I pulled back. Well, as I turned to shoot the other ones, I'm coming in on another one that's low. I could hit it and backpedal, hitting the 3 out. Once I done that, I went to the shotgun, picked it, started shooting steel, got the steel knocked off, which at that time I had a freaking blazing.
Dude, you were rocking it too, man. I was following him with the camera, and it was cool that they let me do that, is follow you through all these stages, and I was right behind you, videoing this whole thing, and I'm just like trying to keep up with him. I was like, he's freaking smoking through here, man. He's going to tear this one up.
Yeah, everybody thought that I was just like blazing. From what everybody told me, I was blazing that stage.
Yeah, which you were.
Which was good. Well, I get to dump the shotgun, grab the rifle at the car, put the sight on the first target, and click.
Nothing.
There is a round in the chamber, and I'm going, crap. So I try to rack it. Well, guess what? It's stuck.
Ah.
The brass, I don't know if it wasn't sized correctly or what, which I've learned my lesson now. I'm not using reloads. I'm using new ammo, period. But the bad part about it is that ammo was tuned to my rifle, which made it even better. But
frog lube your rifle?
Oh, no frog lube.
Modern Spartan systems, baby.
Spartan systems.
Modern Spartan systems.
But
it had nothing to do with the lube, and come to find out, it was kind of a 2-stage problem after you got to investigating it, right?
Yeah, I actually was kind of checking it out, and my rifle is not 100% Troy rifle. I'll go ahead and say that. So you can't blame Troy Industries on that half. It is a Frankenstein rifle to me. But I hope possibly down the road in the future to pick up a Troy rifle to use as a 3-gun weapon from Troy. Because they make great products, by the way, because, and they're on the fast track doing things right, especially for this 3-gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're breaking into.
There's an announcement we're going to make after you talk about this, too, of something they got coming down the road. But talk about the malfunction. So you're at the stage, you pull the trigger, click. So what's going through your mind is, I've got ammo in here, what the heck's going on? So
I start doing immediate actions.
Yeah, start racking, checking your magazine.
Start doing immediate actions, and it was stuck so hard I literally had to slam it as hard as I could. Racked another one in it. Click.
Oh, man.
Are you freaking kidding me? So I'm sitting here. Now I take the magazine out. I try to rack it. It's stuck again. Next thing you know, I'm still sitting here. I clear it, so I put the magazine back in it. I rack it again. It sticks and click.
3 times. That 3rd time's a charm.
And finally, I just said, forget it. I'm done.
The RO's like, are you done? And you're like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I just, but I was trying to fight through it. Never give up. Keep fighting for it.
Man, and I wanted so bad, I wanted to just drop the camera and grab the gun and just start, helping you try to work through it.
Yeah.
I was wanting to holler at you and root you on and tell you to do this and tell you to do that, but I didn't know if you get disqualified or not for me.
And that's the thing.
For hollering, so I shut up.
There's some stuff that I could have done, but here's the thing. I mean, the RO even said, well, you could have done this, but here's the problem.
It would have fired.
Well, here's the thing. Being in the military, you can take a weapon, and even when you rack the bolt forward, and you eject that fresh round that you haven't fired yet, and look at the primer, what do you see? You see a light strike. That's because that firing pin is going to move freely. Now, if I'd have slammed the weapon on the ground to extract that round and it went off, would I have been DQ'd?
Yep.
That's my question.
Yep.
That's the reason why they tell you in basic training to be careful slamming the buttstock to the ground, because that weapon will go off.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I wanted you to ask the RO. He's like, ask him if you could do that. And after the match, he's the one that told you to slam it up against the car.
Yeah, but
that still wasn't solid enough.
But the problem was, if I would have thought to have done that, would he had called the match and deemed it unsafe?
Mm-hmm.
Or was that something he thought of after the fact?
Yeah. Well, there were several people yelling after the fact to slam it on the ground, and I that's the first thing I said after you said I'm done. I said slam it on the ground.
Yeah. So, but that's one of those things. I don't want to do that because I don't want that unsafe, muzzle going anywhere or a possible round just flying up into no man's land.
Right. And that's something. Can you ask the ROs that during the competition? Can you ask them if you can do certain things? Are they allowed to tell you?
Yeah. I'm sure. If you don't ask, then you don't know.
Especially when safety's concerned, I would think that he would have said, yes or no.
Right. And I think he would have answered it legitimately. But given the situation, I didn't want to try to,
Yeah. Now, do you want to talk about that firing pin?
Yeah. I'll give it a hit.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to mention the bolt carrier, whose it is, just simply because it's still a good bolt carrier group.
Yeah.
But it has a coating on it which will assist in keeping the bolt carrier group and everything in the components clean easier in the weapon. Well, they coated the firing pin with the same coating. But after doing some checks, I come to find out that even if it adds just a fraction, like a thousandth of a fraction onto that firing pin,
a millionth of a thousandth of an inch of a millimeter.
Yeah, put that on there, and then you throw carbon on top of that. You're still adding all of that extra or excess stuff on top of a part that's supposed to be very freely moving.
Mm-hmm. It's got to have very high tolerances.
Mm-hmm. And so what I done is I took it out, I hit it with my finger to see how far it would protrude from the face of the bolt. Well, it wasn't protruding hardly at all. And I got to noticing a little ring around it where that coating was on it, and that's where it was stopping. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll mention his name because he's also a good shooter up there. Luis Reyes actually hooked me up. He's a fellow Apex Tactical shooter through Apex Tactical with his pistol enhancements and stuff like that. And he threw me a new titanium firing pin and just said, here you go, try this. So I said, okay. Well, I kind of figured this much, that it would be legit. I stuck the clean titanium firing pin in there after a good cleaning, hit it, and you could see it protrude out of the front of the bolt. You could obviously see the distance difference.
The distance difference, yeah. Yeah. So at that point, your gun back at the stage, no matter what you did, it more than likely wasn't going to fire.
No, it was not going to fire.
So you were doomed from the start.
Yep. Which is weird because it shot completely fine, the first day. But then again, it was still building up on the firing pin.
Yeah.
Your gun, it was like, Casey, I'm tired. I want to stop.
Yeah, just quit. Good grief. But no, that's in theory, it was probably a good idea to put that coating on there. But at the same time, I think it worked as a disadvantage instead of an advantage.
Yeah, just an oversight on the people that were doing it. But that's some good T&E product information that you can take back to those people. And unfortunately, it cost you some placement spots in the competition.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I feel that could be what it is because I ran it today with a well-known shooter, and that I had the opportunity to meet today, and it ran fine.
Who did you meet today? Who's this secret squirrel person that you?
Well,
Al's nameless.
Yeah, Al Zitta. He is a former pistol champion, still a very good
He's a
shooter.
competition shooter, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
extremely intelligent, very nice individual. And like I said, today with the titanium firing pin, it ran like a scalded dog. I mean, it was perfect.
Good deal. So at that stage, obviously, I mean, everybody was excited. Even your squad mates. I mean, I had seen from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, and we talked about this. I think you probably earned a lot of it the first day also, but they were rooting you on. They were yelling and clapping and hooting and hollering like, "Come on, Casey! Come on, Casey!" Where when other squad mates would get up there, they weren't yelling for them. So, I mean, you obviously won over your squad and became their so-called role model, I guess.
Well,
I don't know what you'd call it.
Bro?
Their inspiration, maybe.
I don't really know what to call it, but it just, I guess it had a lot to do with me, myself doing what I was doing. Even if a shooter had a rough stage, be serious about telling them, hey, it's okay. You'll get in the next one. Tell them you still doing a good job. And, because everybody's going to have bad days. Everybody's going to have good days. And when a shooter shoots good, congratulate them. Tell them, man, you've done a great job. Awesome time. You freaking rocked it, dude. Just build the atmosphere. I mean, there's so many shooters out there that get so wrapped around being who they are, I think, in some aspects. Not saying that they do, but it kind of busts the atmosphere a little, and
Yeah.
which, I mean, it's okay to be focused, but have fun. And that's something I've noticed in 3-gun. There's a lot of shooters that are extremely fun to be around.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Well, you're one of those, and I think that's what was a lot of the draw to you is that you keeping everything positive. You're being very encouraging to your fellow squad mates. They would come to you for tips, and you were more than happy to talk to them and give them suggestions. And I think that's what you got to do in these competitions, man. It doesn't have to be a cutthroat, trash talking kind of event.
Yeah, not like MMA. I'm gonna beat your face in.
Unlike the next sport we're getting ready to talk about.
Hey, you got any tips? Shredded like a Julian salad.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if squad mates is like swole mates.
Like swole mates.
Can I tell a cool story?
Is that Paul out here?
Yeah.
All right, this is a
He
cool
popped in
story.
to say hi.
I was in the gym. We were doing the kids class, right? So check this out.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, you're welcome. So I'm in the gym, and we've got the kids, and I'm waiting for Johnny D he was running a little late. So I was like, okay, I'll get the kids warmed up. We're doing a little warm-up exercises. I plug in the Pandora, and I put on the Scottish music station because it's me. And so I turn around, and I look at the kids, and they're all like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I said, anybody here got Scottish blood? And, of course, the one little boy says yes. Oh, I do. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And the little girl,
You got a clue.
she's like, oh, yeah, I do too. And Serenity, she comes walking around from behind a heavy bag, and she's kind of dragging her hand on it, and she looks at me, and she goes, actually, I have warrior blood. It was so awesome. I said, that was my reason for coming in today, to hear what is she, 6?
Yeah.
A 6-year-old look up at me and say that I have warrior blood.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I just appreciate that. And now I'm going to go eat dinner, so you can have some fun.
Well, hey, thanks for the cameo appearance, bro.
Hey, you're welcome. Bye now.
What was the biggest thing that you took away from this being your biggest to date 3-gun competition?
Train. That's about all I mean, you can take something from every event that you go to and say, well, I need to do this better, and I need to do this better.
Yeah.
And just practice on your weaknesses.
What I took away from it was that, okay, you need one of the new Troy Conqueror ARs that they have specifically designed for competition.
Yeah.
That's what I took away with it.
Definitely.
So, Jules, if you're listening, you need to get that thing in the mail ASAP to Casey. And, oh, by the way, the best thing's coming too, so send me one too. No, but that rifle was sweet. I mean, it was super light. They've got the carbon fiber alpha rail on this one. It's called something else, but it's the carbon fiber alpha rail, the one with the circles that you can put the squid grips in.
Mm-hmm.
They've got it comes with a 3-prong flash hider that's also suppressor ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the Geisley trigger, right?
Mm-hmm. Geisley, yeah, Bill Geisley makes some great triggers.
Yeah, and then the Troy upper lower, and then it had the Troy battle grip, and then the Troy battle axe buttstock, which is something we're going to work on to try to get it even lighter in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I mean, and just understand that to everybody that's listening, they make a great product, and there's no doubt they do, because it everything that they make serves the warfighter. Period.
Yeah. So this is kind of their first, putting their foot in the realm of competition shooting. This is their first model. So it's only going to improve from here, but I mean, they've already got, I don't see that they can improve on much other than the buttstock.
And something that I'm going to just like kind of throw out there for everybody to be looking for is the new carbon fiber M-Lock rail that they have.
Which you were running on yours already.
Which, from what Julie has told me, I'm the number one. I am the first.
You're the first. Very cool.
And it is money. That thing is so light. I mean, dude, and just the way it feels. I had actually spoken with her about, the block style that they have for a shooter is actually really good, because if you think about it along the lines of a shooter, with that octagonal shape that rail has, when you come up to a stage that you have to prop your weapon up on, maybe say like a table or something to shoot a really far target, or even just your hand placement on the rail itself.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
If you look at your hand is actually kind of notchy. From each bone to knuckle, it's kind of, when you'll wrap your hand around, really and truly, is it circular or is it kind of octagonal?
Well, it kind of conforms to whatever you're grabbing hold of, I guess.
But
it's flexible. But it's not completely flat. No, it's not a completely flat surface.
Think about your bone structures and how everything bends in the joints.
Mm-hmm.
And that M-Lock rail with that shape actually puts your fingers in your hands exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And with stabilization, if you put it down on a hard surface, if you had a circular rail, you have to stabilize the weapon. With that octagonal shape, you lay it flat, and on the flat surface, it's there. There's no movement, and you don't have to worry about stabilization.
You put some thought into this, hadn't you?
Because to me, I love the fact that they're trying to grow towards the 3-gun, and I love it. I love the fact that they're towards the warfighter too. I mean, that's outstanding. Their parts serve our nation and our nation's greatest.
Mm-hmm. America.
And, right. And when you want to put the war wrap around 3-gun, but at the same time, you got to try to look at it. Okay, I'm a sports shooter. Now, how can I apply this to that? And I like the fact that they're looking and going outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the battle rifle and the competition rifle are two different animals, and they need to be, because they serve two different purposes. And I'm glad to see that they are getting in the ring. Ding, ding, ding. Good segue coming up.
Yeah.
Of 3-gun competition shooting. So that's very exciting news. Looking forward to their whole line of products that they're going to be developing around this new rifle.
Well, look at it this way. Look at how many soldiers and law enforcement people you have doing 3-gun now.
That's true.
Those men are coming back, and not only is 3-gun a sport, it also helps that warfighter transition, in my opinion. It still hones his skills, still lets him practice, and still keeps him focused.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you get camaraderie in the competition as well, too.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's tremendous. It's awesome. I love it. It's the best thing ever. And Julie, if you hear me, I still thank you every day. And Steve Troy, thank you for giving me that opportunity to live the dream.
There you go.
So,
let's switch gears now, and let's get to the big MMA slugfest that went down in Louisiana with Jared. And what was your opponent's name?
His name was Quentin Henry.
Quentin Henry, okay. And
He's
he was
from West Monroe.
he's a big dude. Well, how tall was he?
I don't even know, 6'2", maybe 6'1".
Okay, I was gonna say he looked a little taller than that, but how tall are you?
5'9".
You're 5'9". Okay, you and I are the same height, so everybody's taller than us.
I've learned that.
Typically. But I mean, you didn't back down from him at all, man. I mean, you stood toe to toe with him for 3 rounds, and
Yeah, that's
you,
what
you made a statement.
my entire MMA career, I fought people that are bigger than me. I'm always the pudgy-looking dude, and I remember my second amateur fight. That's not going to be for long, though. I'm dropping down a weight class. But my second amateur fight, I remember I fought a Marine, and my mom told me after the fight, when he walked up to the cage, she was scared because he was so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
But I pushed that one through all 3 rounds. Those were only 3-minute rounds when I was an amateur, so that was 9 minutes. I ended up winning that one, but we punched each other for 9 minutes, and then that was that. And then this one, this was actually a much bigger show than I've fought on before because it was World Fighting Championships out of Las Vegas, but they did a show in Baton Rouge at the Bell. And I think that's actually, they're doing another one just for boxing, I believe next month.
Okay. Now, do you do just the specialty fights too, like boxing or?
I've never done boxing before, but I'm getting into everything. Whatever my coach can get me in, that's what I'm going to do.
Because that's going to hone your skills for the MMA, right?
It would be like Casey, he's a 3-gun shooter. It would be like him going off and doing just a rifle competition.
Right.
On his rifle skills.
Or a pistol competition, yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, this it was actually kind of interesting. I don't know if you know how it works.
Just for our listeners who may not be familiar with the MMA world, talk us through it.
Okay, so I cut weight. I cut down from about 220 to 205, and I did that over the course of 4 days.
Holy crap.
Yeah, one of my sponsors, SWAT Fuel, was actually, this was the first time I've done a weight cut, and I had his supplement. So I took his little red pill, the weight cutting one, and I believe that helped me cut the weight because every other weight cut I've had before this was just miserable. This one sucked, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't.
15 pounds in 4 days, that's crazy, dude.
That is crazy.
It's all, when I stepped on the scale, I literally felt like my stomach was like going into my body.
So here's the question that I want to ask. What is your nutrition plan when you're on those thermogenics or diuretics or whatever you want to call it?
When I'm just, basically when I'm cutting the weight, I do chicken and greens or vegetables.
Uh-huh.
You eat clean, which my clean is chicken and the vegetables because I know that works for me. 6 ounces of chicken and a cup of vegetables about every 3 hours. And then on Friday, I weigh-ins. So Friday, I don't eat or drink anything until weigh-ins, which are usually 5 or 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Leading up to that, I just eat normal every 3 hours, 6 ounces of chicken and a cup of vegetables of some sort.
So what kind of complex carb do you get to replace the nutrients that you don't get?
Sweet potatoes, lean protein, lean meat. I did steak. I'll get like noodles of some sort. This time I did spaghetti and meatballs with some marinara sauce, no cheese. And then sweet potatoes is really the key. And you have to time your meals too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dude, do you eat like a special kind of chicken? Are you picky on your chicken?
I get chicken that I know is actually chicken and not just hormones.
Yeah.
You just get natural chicken because there's some chicken. You go to Walmart and you look at the different kinds of chicken. There's one package that says 100% chicken and the other ones don't. So I'm assuming that they're not 100%.
They're not because they're not advertising it. Yeah. By default, they're not.
They might be, but I go with the safe route, the one that I know is actually chicken.
I went to the Waffle House today. Have you ever had their chicken biscuits at the Waffle House?
No, I like my life. I like to live.
Oh my God. No, I mean it's like a chicken. It's like at Hardee's. They throw a piece of chicken, and it's grilled chicken. It's not fried chicken or anything like that. But I mean, they're like an inch and a half thick. They're big old thick pieces of chicken. They're only like $3 too. So I had 2 of those for lunch today, and I was just with some other guys, and one of the guys was curious. He's like, "Do you guys like sell these chicken breasts? You know, how much would a case be?" And they sell the cases there. It's like $24 for 24 pieces of those chicken breast. And I mean, they're big old huge. They're probably 6 ounces at least of chicken breast.
I was saying when I do those and I get the specific chicken, it's like $15 for 4 breasts.
Oh, dude, you need to go to Waffle House.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing next time. Like, what was your weight diet at Waffle House?
Do what?
What was your weight cut diet? No, to say Waffle House.
Waffle House.
No, really.
Theirs is probably that hormone chicken, though. I mean, it's probably not.
If you can get chicken that cheap, it's got to be something added into it. You know what?
No, it's good. I know that.
Is to have your own chickens, and you kill them, and then you eat the chicken, and you know it's just chicken.
That's the only way to be 100% sure, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, so you're cutting weight. We'll get back. Squirrel. Oh, yeah. We jumped off track again.
Cutting weight started on Monday. I actually start my weight cut diet on this previous Saturday, and then I really ramp it up on Wednesday. So I get my little sauna suit at the gym here, and so Friday morning when I woke up, I was about 209, so I still had 4 pounds to cut. Put on my little sauna suit. It's actually a scuba diving suit, so it just sticks to your skin, makes you sweat pretty good.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, scuba diving.
Put your balls off in a scuba diving suit.
Oh, I know. I still have my balls. Get that out there. I had the scuba diving suit, and then I put my sweatpants and my sweatshirt on over it, and then I went running down the road down here in South Mississippi. It's pretty hot. So I sweated that off, and then I went back to the house, stepped on the scale, and I was 205.6. So they give you 1 pound, so I could have weighed 206 and I would have been fine. So I just jumped in the car, and I went to my girlfriend, Alex, drove, and her friend actually came down from Atlanta to go watch my fight. So we drove over to Baton Rouge, and I actually was talking and stuff. I was kind of pleasant. Usually when I cut weight, I'm very angry and hungry,
a little grumpy. Yeah,
a little bit grumpy. But I wasn't too bad this time. So we got there, and I went and stepped on their scale, and it said 204.9 or something like that. I don't remember, but I was so happy. But by the time, basically what you do is you go there, you check your weight. And
how many days before the fight do you weigh in?
One.
1 day before. Okay.
Yep.
And all that matters is what you weigh on weigh-in. You can put that weight back on after that, right?
Oh, yeah, I did. I was 220 before I even got back in the cage.
Oh, gosh.
It's crazy how that works. But I got there, stepped on the scale, checked my weight, and then the way they do it is they let you check it. So if you have to go cut any last minute, then you can do that before they actually start the weigh-ins. So I made sure I was fine, and we were in a freaking room full of testosterone-filled fighters that were angry because they all cut weight.
Everybody had to cut weight.
Yeah, so they had their little rules meeting before you actually get on the scale. And the dude was talking and talking and talking and talking, and the fighters were like, "Come on, man, let's get on the scale. We're hungry and we're thirsty." So one of the fighters actually, he took his clothes off right there and was just pacing back and forth like, "Hey, I'm ready to jump on the scale."
Yeah, I'm going to eat.
Yeah, at that point I was like, "Man, I like that guy." But he turned out not to be so nice of a guy. There was 3 guys, man, 3 dudes, three professional fighters that didn't make weight. They came in like 8 pounds over. One was 8 pounds, one was 5 pounds, and I think the other one was 3 pounds. But then they didn't make weight. And
so they don't fight if they don't make weight, right?
No, the commission won't let them fight over weight. They refuse to cut it. So it's crazy to me. I don't understand how you can be a professional fighter and not make your weight. But
yeah, because the definition of professional fighter is you get paid.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, they're like paying you to make weight. For mixed martial arts fights, you get paid to show up, like you get paid to make weight, and then you get paid a bonus if you win.
There you go.
Sweet.
It's interesting. So anyway,
you get half your paycheck just by making weight.
Making weight, yeah, and that's the hardest part, man. Actually, the fighting part is fun, and people are like, "Why do you think that's fun?" I guess I'm demented. I don't know.
Well, you're not in it to do the diet. That's for damn sure.
No. Is that a fat joke?
No, I'm just saying.
Well, it could be.
Yeah. The reason I do mixed martial arts, the reason I actually get in there and do it, is for the sportsmanship. Because you can literally, we went in there, we beat the crap out of each other for 15 minutes, and then we went out to dinner, and we ended up at the same place, and we talked to each other for a little while. He's a pretty cool dude. And I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't talk to you before the fight, because I kind of would have felt bad for punching you in the face.
I bet he said, no, it's okay. I don't feel bad at all for punching you.
Yeah. No, he said the same thing. He's like, man, before the fight, I could tell you were a nice guy. I was like, yeah, kind of. I guess some people call me nice. I don't know.
Yeah. It's
But
just,
see, that works to your advantage. They
Yep.
think you're a nice guy, so
they underestimate you.
Right, they lighten up in the fight, and that's when you just pound them.
You do never underestimate little Fedor.
Yeah, little Fedor. Hey, did I tell you where I got my nickname?
No. Tell us how you came about Little Fedor.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch MMA or anything like that, mainstream, but Fedor Emelianenko was like the best pound per pound fighter ever. So when I was back in 2008, when I first started training the mixed martial arts, I moved down to South Mississippi here, started training at this gym, and they started calling me Little Fedor. I'm like, man, stop calling me that. That's a big thing to live up to. But they called me. They said that I fight just like him with a expressionless face, and I can take a beating and keep pushing forward. So
That's a compliment, dude. That's a huge compliment.
Yeah, I agree. Little Fedor, it's a hard name to live up to. But when I came back this time, I took a little bit of time off, and I came back, and you know what? I'm going to embrace the name Little Fedor.
There you go.
I want to meet Fedor one day.
Oh, so you haven't met him yet?
No, he's lives in Russia.
Oh, he's a Russian. Okay. Is he retired, I take it?
They were talking about him coming back.
Ooh. Wouldn't that be a fight?
That would be cool, yeah.
You two fighting each other.
The expression we like to use at the whenever we're teaching students at the armory is GSP'd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. GSP's another one. Another fighter that I look up to.
Who's GSP?
George St. Pierre.
Oh, George St. Pierre, yeah. He was in the Avengers movie.
Yep, that was him. Hopping around like funny.
Yeah. He's trying to kick Captain America's butt.
Yeah. I forgot he was in that. That's funny.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him fight in a while, but he's been doing movies and stuff, I guess, that pays more.
Yeah, he's taken the Jean-Claude Van Damme route, I think. Yeah. He used his MMA to launch his acting career, movie career, so.
I lost you again, so if you said something, I couldn't hear it.
No, that's fine. We just kept talking through.
I said we were actually waiting for you to get back. We stopped talking.
Well, there you go. I mean, hey. So you did get the part about GSP, though, right?
Yeah, George St. Pierre. That's what we were talking about. Him being in Captain America.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Jared, walk us through so you did the weigh-in, you got the weight. What's your preparation after that to get ready for the fight? What are you doing?
And I go back and I'll go over immediately. I go get food, Pedialyte. I drank Sip-On Pedialyte after that, and then I actually went and got hibachi that time. And that hibachi chef, hibachi chef, if you're listening to me right now, you are the best hibachi chef I've had in my entire life. Now,
I think he's a leadhead. I think he does listen. Yeah.
Yeah. He's cool. But
did he flip the tails up into his hat and do the little onion volcano and?
Yeah. Yeah, he did a couple things that I'd never seen before. He made a heart talk.
I haven't seen that.
Made a what?
Threw some eggs up in his hat, and I've seen everybody do that. Then he took a fake egg, and he slammed his spatula on the stovetop when he acted like he threw the egg at somebody else, and of course they got the crap scared out of him. It was hilarious. But
so those hibachi chefs are comedians.
Oh yeah, funny. After I did that, I actually went back and I grabbed a beer at the hotel bar. Grabbed me a Shiner.
Dude, I bet you were drunk off that one beer too, weren't you?
No, I made sure I was hydrated before I drank that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would have not been well the next morning. Hydration and drinking beer don't go well together. But yeah, I drank one beer, or maybe I drank two. I don't remember.
Because you were drunk.
In other words, the hydration didn't work very well.
Maybe I had three.
Yeah, I went back and I actually slept. That was the first time I was like, man, I can relax now. The training camps are pretty rough. You work out 5, 6, 7 hours a day for every single day until the fight. You got your rest days in there, but I actually slept for like 12 hours, woke up and just chilled. It was nice. Got breakfast at like noon.
There you go.
And we walked around a little bit, checked out Baton Rouge, what they had to offer down there. But it was getting ready to rain, so we headed over to the fighters meeting, and that basically they have a rules meeting before you actually break away and start prepping your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the fighters meeting, and then you break away with your little teams. When we had 2 guys fighting, it was me and my friend, they call him the Prophet. And
Is this from your same training group?
Same gym.
Okay,
And
same gym.
he's pretty cool, dude. What we did after the fighters meeting, we break off with our teammates, go up to our corner, work on hitting mitts or whatever. But we weren't until 10 or 11. We were fight 10 and 11, so we didn't actually get in the cage until 10 p.m. It was a little late, so I just kind of chilled back there, put the towel over my head, laid down, slept a little bit, and then once it gets close to the time to fight, you start getting your mind right. I put on this little motivational video. I don't know if you saw it on my Facebook, but somebody posted it on my wall the day before the fight, and I was like, man, I got to watch that before when I start getting my mind ready. So I did that, watched that video, put my music on, and then we just start hitting mitts.
Now, what do you listen to? What kind of music are you listening to get?
You ever heard of Rob?
What does Little Fedor listen to get motivated?
You know who Rob Bailey is?
Nope.
You're missing out. I don't know what kind of
Rob
music.
Bailey. I like everything. Variety is the spice of life, baby.
Yep, I agree.
Rob B-A.
B-A-I-L-E-Y. He's actually a bodybuilder.
Oh, dude, you got like a mohawk?
Yeah, it's angry music.
Okay.
Okay, I see it now.
Okay. I'll have to check him out. I'll probably like it.
Ted Nugent, Stranglehold. That's a good song that gets me going.
The Nuge.
Yeah, I love Uncle Ted.
Yeah.
But what I tried to do this time is there's so many promoters in MMA that don't allow firearm sponsors, which is stupid to me.
Really?
You're fighting.
It's like NASCAR.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
It's like that's some of your biggest demographics are gun owners.
Yeah, exactly.
That is your biggest demographic.
Yep. But they PC crap. I don't know. But so what I did is
yeah, because MMA is so PC.
I know. It's crazy to me. I just don't understand it. But these dudes were cool. The promoters, World Fighting Championships, they were real cool about it. They even let me have the SOE logo on my banner. So
cool.
I worked really hard to bring the firearms industry into the world of MMA because they really mesh very well together. And I haven't seen any other fighters that have firearm companies or firearm training companies or anything like that as sponsors.
Yeah. Well, that's good for you, man. You're a trailblazer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another reason why I'm behind you 100% because you do represent our community, our industry very well. I mean, you're a very good ambassador to represent our industry.
Man, I appreciate that. And it's just funny to me. These fighters, they get in there, they beat the crap out of each other, or get beaten or whatever, and then they get out of the cage, and they're friends. And it's kind of the same thing in the gun industry. I mean, we don't shoot each other or anything, but it's you have your friends. You don't have any cliques. Everybody's a friend. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think yeah.
So did I hear you say you're out of Atlanta?
No, I'm out of South Mississippi.
South Mississippi. Okay, all right. Any 3-gun stuff down your way?
There is one here in Biloxi.
Biloxi. Okay. All right. I've been to Biloxi. Know exactly where that's at.
Yep.
I knew it before it got wiped off the map by Katrina.
Yeah, that's where I live.
Because unfortunately I was in Iraq during that.
Oh yeah.
You had your own storm.
Well, I'm sure, and I felt for everybody there because we had a bunch of units deploying out of Mississippi, and we all left right before the storm.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucked to be in Iraq and see that place destroyed, knowing that we could have been there assisting people who needed it there. So, which not to say that people in Iraq didn't need taken out from underneath someone who is more or less got your finger on you all the time that you're going to do what I say type person. So, such as Saddam.
Saddam. So, Jared, let's get back to the fight. All right, so now you're coming out of your, what do they call it, your locker room? Is that what they call it in MMA? I don't know.
Locker room.
Your locker room, your dungeon.
They call it the corner. We just say locker
And
room.
do they do it like the boxers? You got your posse behind you. You're sitting there. You got your hood on. You're all focused. You got some cool music playing.
Yeah, generally that's the way it's done. This promotion did it a little differently because the time restraints that they had, they got us all ready. They got us greased up in the. Oh, by the way, greased up. For you guys that don't actually know, greased up. You actually put on Vaseline on your face so you don't get cut, and you saw how well that worked for me. Yeah, they did that in the actual locker room this time. So when you walked out, you walked straight into the cage. It's kind of odd, but yeah, you pick your own walk down song, and whatever makes you most pumped up, you give it to the DJ, and he'll play it for you to walk out.
They'll play anything you want.
Generally, as long as it's clean, because this was an all age show.
Dude, you gotta play Wham.
What is that?
Wham, George Michael.
Oh. No.
Wake me up before you go. I'm not planning on go. You should do that, dude.
I did a custom one this time. I had talked in the middle of it, in the beginning of it, had Stranglehold playing in the background, and then my brother likes Mortal Kombat, so I at about a minute I cut to the Mortal Kombat theme song.
That's pretty cool.
Mortal Kombat, the video game movie Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Video game. It's the original theme song.
Oh, okay.
So you're talking about Wake Me Up Before I Go, and I'm like Mortal Kombat. You're like, what?
No, that's just gonna throw your opponent off. You come out rocking that music.
Yeah,
that's gonna totally mess with his mind, man.
Oh, dude, speaking of throwing opponents off, man, it was probably 6 years ago. I don't know, you weren't there, but 6 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
We went to a fight at the Coliseum, and some dude came out. He was out of Team Fluffy Bunny. Walked up to Barbie Girl.
Nice.
Yeah, if you do that, you kind of need to win. And this dude got knocked out in like 10 seconds.
Oh,
did he really?
Yeah. See, I feel like if I did something crazy like that, that would be like sealing my fate. I'm about to be knocked out.
No, dude, you got to be bold. You got to be confident that you can rock. You can rock Wham. At the same time, you can rock Stranglehold, dude. You know.
Yep.
See, I like some five-finger death punch. That would have been me, but
I do that too.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe a little Barbra Streisand. You'd rock that coming out.
You're marinating here. Marty, can you sing? Will you sing me a custom song to walk out?
Custom song?
I'm thinking
who can sing?
Who?
And plays music? FX Hummel, Jordan.
Oh, you're right.
I'm trying to get him to do a new theme song for Talking Lead.
Yeah, I might hit him up. Hey, Jordan, if you're listening, I would like you to help me out. Help me help you.
Help me help you.
I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to help you yet, but I'll do something.
Well, because you're going to be rocking these MMA fights, kicking ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's going to be like your theme music coming out. And as you get bigger and bigger and you get into the, what's the Dana White League? What's his?
You know what? Dana is actually one of those ones that doesn't allow gun sponsors. So if I ever get a call from him, the only way I'm going there is if I can take my sponsors with me. So.
Well, then, hey, there you go. That's how you can help everybody. Is you're gonna kick ass. You're gonna be so good in this league that Dana White's gonna change his damn policy. Can't believe that Jackwagon doesn't allow gun sponsors.
Nope. Yeah, he's
crazy.
Dropped them all. I don't know. I'm not sure why. I don't know what happened there, but I do know that he doesn't let that happen anymore.
Okay, so you're in the ring. You're all vazzed up.
Yep. Got the Vaseline on. No homo.
What's going through your mind?
I'm about to punch this dude in his face and knock him out so I can be done quick.
So you're sizing him up, obviously. What do you think? What are you thinking? First thing I'm going to do is, you're thinking I'm going to come in with a Superman punch. I'm going to do a leg sweep.
Usually what I do in the beginning is I feel him out, see, because I knew my distance was a little bit less than his. I had shorter arms.
Yeah, he's definitely got the reach.
See how I can get in there and do what I need to do. And so I just go in with a couple jabs first, see if I can get the feel of how far away I am. And it was actually very disheartening because he had much longer arms than I anticipated. I got in there, I threw like 2 or 3 jabs in the beginning, and none of them hit his face. I was like,
he's sitting there.
We have to work for this one. But he.
Are you thinking ground and pound at this point? I got to take him to the ground?
Yep, I did. I tried to take him to the ground. He, after the fight, I talked to him. He said that he's like, yeah, I watched some of your older videos, and I saw that you went to the ground a lot. So I took a razor, I shaved all the hair off my body so I'd be slippery. I was like, that explained it, because I did try to grab him and take him down, but it didn't happen.
Hey, you know what that was? You know what he used? He used tactics right there. He was tactical.
Yeah.
No,
I was about to ask you that. Do you watch older videos from those fighters to pick out their flaws?
Generally, I don't watch film because I don't really care what he does. I'm still going to do what I do.
Right.
I'm going to make them play my game. And I lost this fight by decision, but I still believe that I made him play my game.
But if he is a seasoned veteran fighter, would you consider it?
And I would probably watch it, but it still doesn't. It won't change the way that I train because I'm still
approach. Yeah.
It might. I mean, I'm still going to train hard. I don't know how to explain it.
But don't you think by watching those films, you might be able to pick up on maybe a tell or something like when he's getting ready to do something? He's like before he does that move, he always does this. Yeah, I would think it'd be beneficial for you to watch some of those films.
Yeah, does he like to check you, like kick checks? Does he like to do that crap? And could you catch him off guard and then ground and pound him by catching his leg or knocking him off?
Well, I don't personally watch the films. My coach does that, and then he'll tell me to watch this or whatever. Yeah,
that's cool.
Well, that works though.
Yeah, I don't like to personally watch the films because then I feel like in my mind I'll be like, okay, in this video he did this, but then he might train that out of himself by the time he gets to my fight. Mm-hmm. So he might not even do that anymore.
That's true. All right, so you're toe to toe, you're feeling him out, you're air jabbing right now, so you've come to the conclusion that you're not going to be able to reach him very easily. So what's going through your mind now? What's your game plan?
Started working my head movement a little bit more, which I still got punched a lot, but there's a lot
Was it you moving your head or was it him moving your head?
Both. I think I moved my head into his fist, which moved my head again. So I moved it twice for every once. I moved it.
And that's the sucky part about it.
Yeah. But I started working my leg kicks was my big, it was my game plan after I realized I couldn't really punch him in the face.
Yeah, I saw his leg. He had a huge purple and green and black spot on his leg. I don't know if that was a tattoo or if that's where you were kicking him.
Oh no, I was tearing up his leg.
Oh, yeah. Make that leg weak.
Yep. And I thought in my head, I was like, okay, I'm going to tear this leg up, and then he won't be able to move and punch me as well as he was in the beginning. And when he came out from the second round, he started in southpaw position, which is right foot forward, because I was tearing his left leg up pretty good. And he caught me with quite a few good punches, but none of them, my coach punches really, really hard. And I don't think that anybody that, at this point in my career, I don't think I'm going to fight anybody that can punch that hard. And it was funny because my opponent came up to me afterwards. He's like, man, I've knocked out heavyweights with those punches. And I was like, yeah, I've been punched pretty hard before. And so I've learned.
It's like you hit like a girl, dude.
No, he still hit pretty hard, but I never saw a white light. When you start seeing white lights, you're hurt.
So you were fully cognitive the whole time, aware.
Yeah. It was actually kind of cool because I was worried about my stamina, about my wind, not being able to make it all 15 minutes. But at the end of the first round, I heard they tap on the cage. Uh-huh. When you got 10 seconds left, I heard that. I was like, wow, this is 10 seconds left already? Awesome.
So he was like, it went by quick.
Yeah, we were sitting on our stools, and I looked over across the cage, and I saw him. He was breathing through his mouth. And I was like, tired. He's tired already. And so we came out in the second round, and I kept working those leg kicks. It was really a back and forth fight the whole time. But I left it to the judges, and I was really bloody.
So you learned not to leave it to the judges from now on.
Yep. We talk about that a lot on Student of the Gun Radio, leaving it to the judges. Don't do that. Don't leave it to.
Yeah. Don't put your fate in somebody else's hands.
Yep. It goes for any kind of competition.
But regardless, I mean, that was a strong showing for your return back to the cage. No doubt. We're proud of you.
I appreciate it. That's one thing that I really proved to myself this time was that was my 4th pro MMA fight, and that was his 10th pro or 11th pro MMA fight, and I still did pretty good against him, and he's an active MMA fighter. I've been out for 5 years, so I proved to myself that I can still get in there and perform like I need to perform. So back to the drawing board now. I take this loss and take it as a loss, move forward from it, watch the video. I'll watch a video of myself and see what I was doing wrong and what I need to fix. And I'll be back in the cage in October.
October. That's just around the corner.
Yep. Down there in New Orleans, working on getting a contract right now at the Harris Casino.
Harris Casino. Man.
Nice.
So we got October to look forward to. Are you going to be doing any of those specialty fights in between?
Working on a boxing match at the end of September. I got end of September, and then October 16th. I know that's the MMA fight in New Orleans, and then I'm working on one in December up in there in Atlanta.
Very cool. Well, I definitely would like to come down to Harris and check that one out. That'd be an awesome fight. I hope you get that one. And then Atlanta is always a good area to go to as well.
I love Atlanta.
Yeah.
I know you probably have a lot of listeners up there. I know we do.
Yeah.
Up in Atlanta.
Atlanta's one of our hot spots.
Yep.
The Georgia area. Yep. Well, very cool. Tell us, everybody who's backing you on this endeavor, Jared.
Man, I'm pleased to bring all these gun industry companies and Talking Lead, especially. Bring you guys into the world of MMA with me. I've got Gun District, Talking Lead, Pipe Hitters Union, Tactical Response, SWAT Fuel, Student of the Gun, obviously, Special Operations Equipment, American Association of Firearms Users, Madison Rising, Leitner Wise Manufacturing, and Legally Concealed.
Very cool. Well, I need to get together with Yeager and Owen, and we all need to get together and come to your next fight.
Yeah,
just load up and bring a crew. That would be awesome.
That'd be cool for all the lead heads that could go with us. Like you're sponsored and me and
yeah.
A couple of other guys, that'd be fun, dude. We'd cheer you on.
That'd be awesome. I would appreciate it. Definitely. We go out and have some fun afterwards. After I knock that dude out quick.
Right,
Just make it quick.
Don't be the one to get GSP'd, okay?
I've never done that before, and I don't ever plan on doing that. So.
What does that mean? I'm missing out on that. What's
George St. Pierre? In other words, don't get knocked out, dude.
Oh, does he get knocked out or does he knock people out?
No, he knocks people out.
That's it's like so kind of like Ronda Rousey. She puts her people out quick. Now she's not. Did she quit the MMA and went to the WCW or something like that? The wrestling.
No, I don't know. Maybe. No, she's still doing MMA. She's got the title.
Okay, I had heard that.
I want to give you my take on her real quick. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
The way, because a lot of people are like, well, it's a chick fighting in MMA, and I don't find it attractive for women to actually fight other women. That's not attractive.
Mm-hmm.
The attractive quality to me of Ronda Rousey is how much she has grown as an athlete, be it a female or a male, and that's the way I see her is as an athlete. I don't see her as a dude fighter or a chick fighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when she's fighting, I don't think I've ever looked at her in a sexual way. I mean, it's like a fighter. It's like I'd watch any other fight.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a good competition.
Well, I actually I don't know. It doesn't quite disgust me when women fight other women. It's just like, it's not something that I want to watch. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't look at it as women fighting women. I just look at it as, it's another competition between two competitors.
Yeah.
I don't guess I really look at it that way. So. Unless it's mud wrestling. Now.
Yeah, I could put that. Yeah.
I'm totally for that.
Yeah.
Bikini mud wrestling.
Put some mud in the middle of the cage, and I'll be all right then.
Yeah. All right. So Casey, what have you got coming up in the world of 3-gun?
The month of September, I'm going to try to just jump into some monthly matches. I unfortunately I had to work and I couldn't compete in the FNH Challenge in West Virginia, so I'm just going to try to hop into some monthly matches as long as they don't cancel out due to Labor Day week.
Are those going to be local matches?
Yeah, just local matches, and because some of them have already canceled. They've already said they're canceling due to Labor Day.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you-
kind of what I thought.
Do
But
they make you pay a fee up front on those?
yeah, it's really small. It's just a small club matches and stuff. But that's okay though. That means I can train and focus on everything that I need to focus on before.
Well, maybe I can do one with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
You can get me involved with this, and I can start shooting with you.
I'm in. It's fine with me.
Okay.
Um,
Let me know when the next one is coming up, and
Okay.
I'll shoot it with you.
all right, definitely.
I ain't scared.
Nah, ain't no reason to be scared.
Actually, I am.
But October is the TrichCon Challenge, which is a massive match again at Rock Castle.
What's the entry fee on that?
Oh, that one's steep. That one is $375, I believe.
$375.
I think it was $375. I think. Don't quote me. I can't quite remember. It's been a while. Because as soon as it come out, I went ahead. I had the money I put in for it.
Oh, so it's already registration has already been for that.
Done. Well, I mean, they're still doing it. You can still get in. I don't think they have closed it yet. But I know
think it's probably full.
There's a lot, and that kind of encompasses a lot of stuff. Not just the world of 3-gun. You could be asked to shoot a long rifle. I mean, at various distances. You could
This is the one that you were telling me that you don't bring any guns. They've got all the guns. They've got all the ammo, and then it's just pot luck on what you might get. It's kind of like a Top Shot kind of thing.
Right.
You never know what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, you could shoot a revolver. You could shoot a pump shotgun. You could shoot an over-under. You could shoot, like I said, a long gun of any type, bolt action. You could shoot ARs, of course, SCARs. They might even have a M16.
They might even have a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 Gen 2.
Very well.
Kind of like I've got right here. So yeah, my Gen 2 came in, as you can see.
Yep.
I have those in my go bag, actually.
Yeah, I mean they're perfect for go bags. But sorry to interrupt you, Casey. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, it's going to encompass everything. So it's not just one specific thing. It's all over the board.
Jared, have you done any gun competitions?
No, I have not. I was actually ting about getting into that as a official student of the gun shooter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Would you mentor me?
Well, I could definitely do some work.
Because I've never done it before. I don't even know how it works.
Oh man, I tell you
pull a trigger though.
It's definitely it's kind of overwhelming at first, but once you get into it, it's just do it, just shoot it, man, because you'll freak yourself out if you think about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Just go for it, and I think that's what helped me up there at Rock Castle this time. I quit worrying too much. I just said the heck with it. I'm going to do it, and just went for it and gave it everything. Gave it as much as I could without being reckless.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing you can't be when you're shooting those stages. You can't be reckless because you'll get DQ'd.
Yeah.
You definitely. But and in November there is a big one coming up. I like to try to beat all the ones that involve soldiers at in some aspect.
Mm-hmm.
This one is the A3G Salute to Valor match, and it's in Atlanta. And
what month is that in Atlanta?
November.
When is your fight, Jared, in Atlanta?
December.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll be in Atlanta 2 months in a row, looks like.
But that's going to be a big one also. A lot of that goes back to Special Operations, the Special Operations Foundation, I believe, and a couple of other ones. But that's going to be a big 3-gun match also. So kind of looking forward to that one. Any of those events like that, I want to be at. Because
now that you mentioned that, the organization, charitable organizations, at Rock Castle this week, I met the gang from USA Cares. Got to meet them, and the founder was actually there. I guess he's the founder. Wasn't he the founder?
Mm-hmm.
President? I think so, yeah. And did a video with them that I'm going to be posting along with all the Casey's shooting, and I got to film the guys from Kel-Tec and some of the pros that were there. Those videos are coming up. But the USA Cares is a foundation that Talking Lead is looking at possibly getting involved with as well. So look for more of that to come. But I really enjoyed kind of the after the shoot getting to talk with, everybody was mingling around before they were doing the prize table. The pros were there, the amateurs were there, the sponsors were there. everybody was just hanging out, talking, and having a good time. You introduced me to Birdsall.
Mm-hmm. Rick Birdsall, yeah.
Yeah, I got to meet Rick Birdsall. Very cool dude. He's going to be coming on the show sometime soon, Leadhead. So stand by for that. The USA Cares people. Golly, who else were we talking to there? The Pro 3 gunners. Them, Austin. I'm just kind of learning everybody now.
Well, the same people that were in that crowd was Deanna Huffstetter. She was there, and she shoots a lot with Taryn Butler, which is another 3 gunner that I watch religiously. He's been in it for a while. Has great products, by the way. Man, those TTI base pads and stuff that he has for Glock, Smith & Wesson, or even your PMags or anything that you have, man, he makes great products. It's got a sweet Benelli shotgun that he backs. But, of course, me, I like the Mossbergs. But
oh, yeah. Another cool guy that I got to meet was Jess Tischauer.
Yeah, Jesse Tischhauser. Yeah.
Yep, got to meet Jesse, and he's wanting to be on the show too. So looking forward to. And he's got a big tight. He sent me a schedule for September, and he's like covered up. So I'm looking at maybe end of September to get him on. Maybe I can get the both of you on. But yeah, so Jesse Tischhauer, is that how you say Tischhauer? Tischhauser, okay. Jesse Tischhauser. With this relationship that I have with Casey, I'm getting to meet a lot of these other 3 gunners and have the opportunity to get them on the show. So that's just going to benefit all of us Leadheads.
And you know what's bad? I looked for Jesse the entire time that I was up there. I knew he was there. I never got to see him.
Yeah, he was like the first part of the day after your first shoot. I was walking back to go film Zach Hall with Atlas Defense. And Chad last week told me to be looking for like the guys from Freedom Munitions, Jesse, and a couple other people. And he had his back turned, and I just happened to see his name on the back of his shirt. And I walked over and started talking to him, and he was just cool dude, man. He's getting ready for his next stage, and we talked for probably about 10, 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, I mean he's actually gave me a couple pointers talking back and forth on Facebook. Messaging and everything else, and I was really looking forward to meeting him, dude. I didn't even get a chance to meet him, so man, I was kind of devastated by that. I was like, man.
If you don't meet him before I get him scheduled to be on the show, then you can be on with me, and you can co-host with me, and we'll interview him together. Cool.
Yeah. Seems like a really cool guy. He gave me a couple pointers, and not to mention too, I got to give Hunter Kale props too, man. Hunter, coming through a lot of disabilities himself, coming through making a good start out of himself and 3 gun, and he's moving on up pretty quick, man. He gave me a couple pointers too on how to look at stages, and Raleigh Prince too. He's another one.
It's time now for the jack wagon, and we're going to kind of do something a little different. Is we're going to do the jack wagon and the fact to fight the myth are kind of related, so we're going to do them kind of all in one. So Gunny, roll us into our jack wagon.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
All right, so by the time this gets out, you guys are going to probably know a whole lot of details about this latest massacre that's happened. It was the reporters out in Virginia. There was a journalist and her cameraman, and the lady that they were interviewing were viciously gunned down. The journalist and the cameraman were murdered, and as far as I know right now, the other lady is in surgery and she's going to be okay. She's going to live. I think she was shot in the back. But this for lack of this evil person, he's just pure evil. That's all you can describe this guy as.
Piece of human debris.
Obviously he's got mental issues, mental problems, but he's just evil. This is a premeditated, planned out massacre that he just ambushed them. There's no way that they would have been able to defend or protect themselves. And it's tragic and it's sad. But the jackwagon, what I'm leading into is I'm not throwing this guy. Obviously, this guy's on the jackwagon train. I don't even know what was his name. He had a stage name and then he had a real name. It's like Flanagan. He's like an Irish dude, but he's a black dude. But he's got like an Irish name, something Flanagan. But obviously he's on the train, under the train, being drugged by the train. No doubt about that.
SDI is proud to present the Talking Lead Facts to Fight the Myths.
Rob Pincus had sent me a message, and I haven't been able to keep up with this like I'd wanted to, but apparently there's people out there criticizing, not necessarily criticizing, but they're saying, these people should have been more situationally aware of their surroundings and what was going on around them. Well, I mean, obviously these people, as Jared pointed out, have never been in the world of media. They've never made a video. They've never just been out in public talking to somebody.
Right.
I mean, there's only so much that you can be aware of at any given time. And when you got a camera, you're holding up a camera and you're working on angle shots, and the person that you're filming is sitting there paying attention to the person she's interviewing and talking to her. And that's usually how these journalists are, is like you've got a cameraman, you got a journalist, and there's nobody else. They don't carry around an armed security detail with them.
To me, the thing that would have threw a lot of alarms off, and maybe this is just because, we're used to seeing this stuff and we're used to hearing it, and also military, you're used to hearing that also. But I guess to someone who's never been around the military, to me it would have alarmed the fact that he was there after being fired watching this interview.
Well, here's the thing. He wasn't there watching it. He just snuck up on him. He ambushed him.
Yeah,
he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, the weird part to the video, though, that I seen before he pulled the trigger, it's like he anticipated or he second-guessed himself, because he flashed the pistol.
Yeah.
And then he waited for the cameraman to finally turn and pan to the reporter and the woman she was interviewing. Then he pulled the trigger on her. I don't know. The whole peripheral thing, being able to see everybody else around you, kind of.
But the point is, and this gets into our fact to fight the myth also, is the myth of situational awareness.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way that you can 100% of the time be 100% aware of 100% of your surroundings.
No.
Because they're dynamic, they're changing, you're changing, you're doing different things that demand your attention for other things. There's no way the cameraman could have any kind of situational awareness whatsoever. And for people to say that, it's ludicrous.
I watched the video, and I glanced at it one time, so I haven't watched it enough to make an educated opinion about this. I agree that you can't know 100% your surroundings 100% of the time, but I'm all around about in the public. I do video, I do audio, I do that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I know it's difficult to focus on, like if you're interviewing somebody, you have to focus on that person, because you have to see it. Like in my head, when I'm filming, I'm also editing, so I'm analyzing the situation to make my job easier later. But at the same time, you can't.
Exactly.
Like, so if this situation happened to me, I would still blame myself for being shot, because I would feel like I wasn't paying enough attention. Now,
but you're doing your job, you know.
Yeah, these people
you can't
never even been to the frickin' range to shoot a gun, so they don't even know what it's like to be in a stressful position. And if you're a keyboard commando, then go on this jackwagon train, because that's where you need to be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In the cameraman's defense, though, he didn't know it was coming.
He had his head stuck in the camera like he should.
Well, here's the thing, guys. The shooter also had a camera. Did you know that?
Yeah, had his cell phone.
He was filming it himself, and you can see that when he came up on that reporter, she had no idea he was there. It's like he startled her. She's like, "Oh God!" And he's got this gun pointed at her. And at that point, what do? You can only do what she did. You run.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could confront the guy and tackle him and hope, you knock the gun out. But, that's just, it's natural instinct what happened with her.
Yeah.
She's got no training. But the whole situational awareness myth, yes, you need to be aware of your surroundings, and you need to pay as much attention as you possibly can. But you can't always 100% of the time know what's 100% around you. Because environments are changing constantly. It's like before you start shooting, you could do a great sweep and, take note of everything that's going on. But as you put that camera up to your face, things are changing. And you don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on at that point. And you could break and take a look around and, do it. But there's going to be that moment where you're always going to have your attention somewhere else.
Yep. And that's one thing that I've got with me is I have a whole team. I don't just have me and, well, sometimes I do. But my team is different. We have training. We know how to observe our surroundings.
Yeah. And I don't care how much training you had. There's no training in the world that could have prevented what had happened right there.
No.
Because that guy was dead set. It was premeditated. It was planned out. He had a plan of action. He was going to cause some damage somehow, some way.
The main thing to take from this is we know there's always going to be evil in the world.
It might have been minimized, but, there's only 3 people there. If you look at the video, I think they're the only 3 people there anyway.
Well, you know what they say, man. To meet a guy at that level, to stop the threat, you must be on the same level as him to stop him. In other words, you need to be packing heat too. That's the only fair way to do it.
But we can sit here and try to analyze it, but pick it apart. It's just the fact is, until you're in that situation and it happens to you, you never know how it's going to go down. And obviously, you need to be trained, and you need to be able to, when you have the ability or the opportunity to protect and defend yourself, that's going to kick in. But these guys just didn't even have that. They didn't have that opportunity.
You can hear my voice right now. Do me a favor. Stop sharing these videos. Stop watching them. That's what this dude wanted.
Yep.
On purpose. He wants the videos to be shared. He wants to be remembered as by his name rather than a piece of human debris. I'm not even going to say the dude's name ever because nobody cares what his name is.
No, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, the focus should be spent on the people that were victims of this.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so there's our Jack Wagon and our Fact to Fight the Myth all rolled in one. SDI's 32 semester credit hour certificate program in gunsmithing and 60 credit hour Associate of Science in Firearms Technology degree program can work hand in hand and are the most complete training programs of their kind. SDI strives to give you the best quantity and quality of professional gunsmithing information and tools. These programs are perfect for students interested in careers in the firearms industry or for those who are interested in owning their own gunsmithing business. Our programs are delivered via distance learning, which allows our students to maintain full-time jobs, families, military service, and more while working towards their degree or certificate. The Sonoran Desert Institute mission is adding value to our students' lives by providing innovative, relevant, and applicable workplace-driven education through distance-delivered instructions. Visit them at sdi.edu. So great show, guys. Appreciate you being on this week. Real quick, I want to announce the winner. I'm not going to have a trivia question this week, but the winner of Kel-Tec Chad's trivia question, what calibers is the new Gen 2 going to be released in? And that cool, funny video that Chad did. It's 20 millimeter and 45 ACP, which they're not really coming out with a 20 millimeter Kel-Tec Sub 2000. The winner is Michael Daniel. Michael, congratulations! You are the winner of the Kel-Tec swag bag prize package. So, guys, again, thanks for being on the show. I appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate both of you representing Talking Lead and the firearms industry in the manner that you do. You're both first-rate guys. Couldn't ask for 2 better ambassadors for the 3-gun competition and for the world of MMA. Bravo to you guys.
I appreciate the support.
Thank you. And I definitely want to come watch you.
I'll let you know.
And a big thanks to our sponsors at ICE Training, ICEtraining.us. ICE stands for integrity, consistency, and efficiency, the hallmarks of the programs, courses, and services provided by the company. ICE Training is a full-service company offering training to armed professionals and those interested in self-defense. ICE is owned and operated by Rob Pincus, the developer of the Combat Focused Shooting Program and the Professional Defense Video DVD series. ICE offers training in firearms, tactics, and unarmed defense, as well as consulting services for range operations, instructor development, and training program management. ICEtraining.us.
And as always, Leadheads,
Keep your loved ones close.
And keep your opponents closer.
there you go.
You put the boom boom into my heart. You send my soul sky high when your loving starts. A jitterbug into my brain. Goes to bang 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 till my feet do the same. But something's bugging me, something ain't right. My best friend told me what you did last night.
Karate chop!